Well, Xavier, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it. So you're back in Canada.
I'm back in Canada.
Again, for another go-around. What's this,
Again?
like, number 20?
Yeah, I don't know.
How many times have you been across this country?
Don't know. I'd like to know. Been coming here for 10 years.
Yeah.
Thereabouts, you know. So I've gone across it a few times.
It's when you came to Calgary.
I've never had so much sun until we got to Calgary.
And then snow in June.
Yeah, it was really nice in every place. And then Calgary was snowing. Couldn't believe it.
Well, you talk about weather changing on the record.
Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts. What are your thoughts? I mean, you gotta be pretty pissed off about everything that's happening right now with BP and the oil spill and.
Oh man, it's just on and on, isn't it? It's continuous, but it's a hard one. Balancing the scales is difficult, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see more people rising up and wanting change over time. Like over 10 years, I've seen organisations grow and things that were small become bigger and people connect and that's good, but the balance of industry versus that is pretty it's pretty hard to stomach, but soldier on, be positive.
Yeah, well, we need people like you preaching it to keep people remember what's going on. So the new record is not just you this time.
No, it's with Izintaba, which we named the band Xavier Rudd and Izintaba because I feel like when I'm with Tio and Andy, I'm standing on a mountain. They're such, in every way, they're such amazing spirits, friends, and musically, we've got such a strong connection. So, Izintaba is the Zulu word for mountains. But I met him in Austria a few years ago. We had a sort of a mirrored respect for each other and what we were doing, and strong connection. And then they came along last year, and we rehearsed. Once we rehearsed, we were just sold on it. Yeah, it was powerful. So we're having a ball.
Did you write the songs with them in mind, or did you write together? Like how did that all come about?
With them in mind, but I wrote them, sort of brought them to Tio and Andy. But their input, their influence is so strong, they're such creative, amazing players that I look forward to writing with them. I'd like to write more, actually, with them.
Did they bring those, I don't know what the word, African chants maybe? I don't know what the word is for the sounds they're making on the record.
The harmonies, basically how it would work in most cases is that I'd sort of sing a harmony that I was hearing, and I'd talk about what the song was about.
Mm-hmm.
Andy usually would take that away for a while and just sort of work out how to sing it in Zulu, Xhosa, or Sotho. So they sing in those three languages.
Cool. Do you speak any of that? Have you learned any? No, not yet.
It's all difficult. Like Andy's name is Andy Leg Umbizelo.
See, that's just fun to say.
It took me introducing him on stage. I had to pause just to get it right, before I said his last name for quite a while.
The stage set. How's the stage set? Are you still behind that massive
kit
of everything?
Yeah, I still do everything that I do. They sort of just play around me. So I haven't really limited what I do. Took away a lot of the bass out of my guitar.
Okay.
To make room for the bass. But I haven't really changed anything.
What is that setup? Because I mean, we see it from the front, and it must be very different looking at it from behind. So you got drums, you got a couple didgeridoos, guitars.
Yeah, I got three.
You don't call them didgeridoos though, do you?
Yeah, yidakis. So I have three yidakis on a stand in different keys, and they can be changed. Drums. I have a stomp box, which is a wooden box that I stomp my foot on, which has a mic under it, so it's like a kick drum kind of tone. I have different percussion. I can't remember what I meant. It's become almost like a drum kit. Like I have hi-hats. I snare,
Must be hard to tour with everything,
little
though.
firecracker thing.
To lug that huge thing around everywhere.
Yeah, I'm constantly getting encouraged to cut down lines and cut down weight.
But you can't, it's what you're known for.
Yeah, so I mean, actually, today I was looking at some of the stuff, and I'm not really using some of that percussion stuff at the moment, so we're just talking about that. We maybe leave some of it behind for Europe, but the core of what I've got there is I'm using.
Cool. You're heading to Europe and South Africa, too.
Yeah.
First time?
Yeah.
That'd be
first
cool.
time in
The
SA.
surf's supposed to be amazing down there.
Yeah.
You know, some fun.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. Let's talk about some of the new songs. Your son sings on one, or sings, or talks on one, kind of.
Yeah.
How did that? Did you have him in mind for it, or was it just like, oh,
Yeah.
you're around? Why don't you come in and try this?
No, he's pretty interesting, that little fellow. We were doing, we were sitting by a fire singing. And we were sitting by a fire. We just did ceremony, and the sun was going down. I started playing the riff from that song, Koonyum Sun. And he was the first one to sing anything. He started singing that line over and over and over as I was playing that riff. So I basically wrote the song around that, like about the verses are basically about what life and what he was singing about and where we were and yeah. So it was sort of like he instigated that whole thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You still carry his sock on tour?
Yeah, I do.
It's a nice little ritual.
Yeah.
There's some hardships on the record, though. I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but I mean, you have some songs that must have been pretty hard to write this time around.
Yeah, it was an emotional record. It was massive changes in the last year and a half. Unexpected. My marriage ended, and yeah, that was definitely the hardest road I've walked in my life so far. But yeah, and the record was good for it. It was good to have my music. I'm so blessed to have music.
It's a good escape sometimes.
Yeah, and there's reflections there, but it's all positive. It felt for me the record's positive and sacred, and it marks a time of change, a time of letting go of things and letting the universe decide what's right, and everything's sort of good now. I understand now, and I feel good, and I've got a whole new energy on stage. I'm so much, I was always respectful of my music, but I'm more respectful now. I feel very blessed to have that, and I've got 2 beautiful kids, and all these opportunities. So I feel great.
Right.
It's good, and it's nice. As Koonyum Sun's a platform for that. It's the beginning of that. So it's although there was some hard times making it. It was it doesn't feel like a strain to me or anything like that. It feels light, the record.
And it is light, well, lighter than the last one at least. It's more.
Yeah, I think that the last one was probably more the heaviness of the situation. I think sometimes, I think in general, my spirits are ahead of me, and a lot of the time my music's reflected through that. My music's ahead of me, and it takes me a while to understand what it is.
That's cool.
But I think Dark Shades of Blue was maybe the storm that was coming.